On the hunt for comfortable, timeless Western boots? You already know the best place to shop for quality boots is at your local Tecovas store. So stop by Tecovas Nashville at the Mall at Green Hills or on Broadway by Ryman Auditorium. That's right, you now have 2 locations to choose from. Grab a cold one as you shop and get fitted by a pro. Tecovas Nashville is at your service, and you can find your perfectly fitted dream boots with the help of their expert staff. Everyone will be asking where you got your sick new boots, but I won't be asking because I know they must be Tecovas. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all.
Today on CityCast Nashville, what if I told you that you can get fresh, high-quality seafood flown straight from Hawaii to Nashville? Jennifer Chung Klein, owner of Aloha Fish Company, joins us to share the story behind her family business. Together with her husband, Chef Jerry Klein, they found a way to bring incredible fish straight from the ocean to our landlocked city. She'll explain how they do it, why it matters, and she'll also share some of her favorite local seafood restaurants and recipes. CityCast Nashville is presented by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tecovas. It's Thursday, October 31st. I'm Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. We love an origin story. So would you mind taking us to the very beginning of when you started to bring fresh fish from Hawaii to landlocked Tennessee?
So it happened in 2020 when I was furloughed from my job. I am currently in the meetings and events industry. But as you know, nobody was traveling, nobody was meeting when the pandemic hit. I was also homesick. We were living in Nashville for about a year, and we just felt that something was missing in our lives. We used to eat sushi once a week. We had fresh fish once a week. We were on the West Coast, and it was just something that we took for granted, I think, when we lived on the coast. So I was talking with my cousin, and he is in food and beverage in Honolulu. And he joked, and he's like, I can send you 80 pounds of fish if you want fresh fish. And at that point, I mean, I maybe had about 8 friends. So how am I going to consume 80 pounds of fish? So word of mouth, a couple of friends told a few others. We actually made that shipment possible. And we shipped in about 80 pounds of fish. And I just thought with my husband, we're like, you know what? This could be something, with the power of social media, why don't we try it? Picked out a name. Our friend helped us with the logo, and it was established in 2020. And we still, once a week, ship in at least 80 pounds of fish. So everything that we fly in from Honolulu was caught this week. It's the freshest fish that anybody can get here in Nashville.
We were talking as we were preparing for this interview. We love to watch all these kinds of documentaries. And, climate change is making all the waters warmer. The ocean's ecosystem is failing. How do you guarantee to your customers that you're sourcing these fish ethically?
All the fish that are from Honolulu are wild caught. Every vendor that we use is also using sustainable procedures. I love it when people ask about it because it actually means that they care about it. And for the fishermen as well, they actually go out pretty far. Everything that we also order is traceable. The Ora King salmon from New Zealand is actually some of the best salmon, and it's our biggest seller. And each fish is traceable. We know when it was caught. I want people to have good quality seafood in the comforts of their own home. So in 2020, when we started, nobody was traveling, nobody was eating out. So this was kind of that homage to allowing people to feel like they're traveling. They went to Hawaii, or whether you have been to Hawaii or it's on your bucket list, Hawaii is such a special place. I think for anybody who's been there or wants to go there, it's a special occasion, or it's something that holds near and dear to their heart. So when they come into our shop, to this day, I want people to feel like they're welcome. Anybody is welcomed. Anybody wants a taste of aloha, a taste of Hawaii, can find it at our shop. So we make some fun things like musubis. So whether you just want a quick bite, you can get poke bowls. We have a fish taco kit, a clams and pasta kit, a hand roll kit, some things that would make eating healthy and putting together a quick meal simpler for busy families. We've also expanded to the Northeast and Northwest. Like oysters from the Northeast or Northwest are beautiful. Halibut from Nova Scotia, Chilean sea bass. We just got in some king crab from Alaska. We're not competing with the Gulf. There's some great Gulf purveyors. But if you are from the West Coast or the Northeast, Northwest, you understand what seafood's like and you know the texture, the taste of it. It's just really different. And I think that's what I want to bring to our landlocked state.
Wow. This is my own little question, but how do you then package? How are they shipped? How do you keep it fresh?
We actually buy a plane ticket for the cargo, and it comes to the airport at BNA, and my husband goes to pick it up, and he starts prepping it for customers to pick up tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Can I ask you what made you move to Nashville from the West Coast?
I am from Honolulu originally. I went to the University of Hawaii and I moved to Las Vegas in 99 for an internship. It was a 3-month internship. It was at the MGM Grand. And I'm like, you know what? For 3 months, this would be amazing. My mom was still expecting me to go home. I had one suitcase. And at the end of the internship, they were like, do you want a job? So I called my parents up and I never looked back. I actually lived there for 20 years, so 99 to 2019. And I saw the growth in Nevada or in Las Vegas to like what it is now. So that was 20 years. And I met my husband and we have 2 kids. And Clark was 5 when we decided that we might want to start looking at other things or other places to raise them. I was also at the concert, the Route 91 concert, where they had the shooting when they were at Mandalay Bay and they shot into the crowds. I was actually at that concert.
Oh my goodness.
So it was then when I started feeling different about the city and what I want to do for the family.
Wow. And are you finding that Nashville is offering a safe space for your family these days?
It is. We love it.
I always love to hear, because I am from Nashville, so I always love to hear what brings people to town. It's an amazing city, and so I'm always happy to welcome newcomers. So back to your Hawaiian heritage, do you find that Nashville really embraces that here? Have you found a community here?
Yeah, there's actually a great Facebook group. It's Hawaiians in Middle Tennessee. And it's great because we would get together every quarter and it's been great just to have that connection. So little by little, it's growing and it's so great to meet others from Hawaii.
Wow.
And I think it's the Southern hospitality and how hospitable we are in Hawaii. It was just an easy transition.
I've heard that before. We actually did an episode about the Ukulele Festival. That was a couple months ago. And our guest Melanie was telling us how Southern hospitality is very much like Hawaiian hospitality. And I had never heard that before. So I love that comparison. Let's see, how do I phrase this? Because they're competitors. But I want to know who else is doing seafood well here in Nashville. Because, I grew up here and I can't say that we had the best seafood. My family love Red Lobster. And then I went to Tokyo and had real fish. And it blew my mind. It was just totally different than any fish I had grown up with. So I am curious, what other restaurants, when you go dine out, since you obviously love seafood so much, what other places are doing it well?
I know that a lot of restaurants are flying in their own fish. So I think that there is more and more of that. So it's exciting to see the need for it. I just recently dined at the new restaurant at JW called 888, and they have a fantastic menu. They have sushi, and they have some great izakaya menu items that were delicious. And I know that they do ship it in directly. Like your Henrietta Reds, your Optimus, I know that they fly it in as well. Even Chef Sean Brock, they had Ora King on their menu, the Ora King salmon. And I think that once we start educating people about some of these unique fish, it will catch on. So people will ask, I think people will start asking, oh, where is your salmon from? Or is this really salmon? And not even being afraid of asking, how long was this caught? Or when did you get it in? Those are all safe questions that I think we should know if we're consuming it and putting it into our bodies. I would say, make sure you read your labels. Some places would add preservatives to even fish. So read your labels and be sure, even though it sounds like it was, flash frozen, but there's chemicals that they add to the product to be sure that it does freeze well.
I did want to ask farm versus wild caught salmon. So at Kroger's, you see the farm raised salmon. I buy my fish from Aldi a lot too, but I notice, it's farmed. Is it true that the salmon that I've been buying for years is actually dyed?
I don't want to, say anything about anyone's product, but I have heard that because people have asked me if our salmon has been dyed. And I tell people, go straight to the source, try to find out where that was from and do a little bit more research. And if you're not able to find out more about it, then there's something, you could speculate. But if it's truly something that is out there, out in the open, I think it's public knowledge. I tell people to look up the Ora King website, Ora King Salmon from New Zealand website, and read all about it. Ask any questions about it. They have everything there. And that's the only type of salmon that we would bring in.
What's your favorite fish dish that to cook? Or I even saw an article that featured your company, some recipes that you had suggested. So is there a favorite recipe that you would share with us?
Yes. I actually tell people it is sometimes the simplest. When you have good quality product, it's the simplest way to cook it. There's two items that I really, really love. The manchang is a fish that a lot of people might not have heard of, but I love steaming the manchang. And in 6 minutes, like a piece of fish that's about like maybe half a pound, you'll get a fresh tasting, clean, amazing Chinese steamed fish. You put that in a dish, you steam it for about 6 minutes, you drain the water from it that comes from steaming it. And I take a hot pan, heat up some great oil, and put some scallions, like slice up some scallions and ginger on the fish. And I'll pour that hot oil on the fish and add a little soy sauce or coconut aminos if you're gluten-free. And that's it. Like, that's all it needs. The second recipe that I always tell people about is there's a recipe called parchment paper crispy skin salmon. And do that with the Ora King, and it's amazing. The skin on the Ora King is so good, and you get all your omega-3s, and you need nothing else. Maybe some salt and pepper, but it tastes so good. When you have great quality and great fresh fish, you don't have to mask it with a lot of sauce and a lot of taste or salt or whatever. It's just the best tasting on its own.
Well, you're speaking my language because every time I cook in my kitchen lately, my fire alarm's been going off. So like steaming sounds like it won't set up the fire alarm. And also in parchment paper, that sounds great. Wow, my mouth is watering.
Baking too. We have Chilean sea bass, black cod that you can just bake. I make a really yummy miso marinade that you can buy. And we tell people just marinate it overnight and then bake it. And you get this amazing piece of miso marinated sea bass. And in the comforts of your own home. You can also eat the fish raw. There's the Ora King salmon that I mentioned. You can eat that raw. So we sell sashimi cuts or poke. So if you love eating fish raw, we're the spot for you to get fresh fish.
So what is the breakdown of how to get your fish? Because I saw like you have to put in your order early. Is there a wait list? Are people going crazy over this? It seems, I'm about to. Move out of the way. Give me my fish.
Thank you. So we have the list that comes out every Sunday night. So I'll get our list from Honolulu. So what's caught that week? Seafood is market price. So I'll get pricing from Honolulu by Sunday night. Our website, alohafishcompany.com, is updated. And I have to put in our fish order to Hawaii by Monday evening. We ask that if you want a certain item to pre-order it just so that you get it this week. We do order extra fish. So every week you're able to come in. If you are flexible with what you make tonight, you can please come by and just come into our shop. Near the fairgrounds, we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you can see what we have at the shop and fresh this week. So you'll be able to feel it, touch it, feel it, smell it, and purchase it right then and there. So you don't have to pre-order, but we do try to ask if you're getting a bulk order or you want something specific, we might not order it if somebody else didn't order. So for example, like clams, I have to get a bushel, or I need to get a big bag of clams or a bushel of oysters. And I might not always keep that on hand because I want you to have the most freshest product. So if no one is ordering it, I might not order it. But if you are flexible, please feel free to come by and just check out and see what we have. The smallest portion is half a pound. Sashimi, we have sashimi kits that are 12 pieces. So it's not like large quantities that you have to purchase. I tell people that you don't have to bulk up, but we do have great customers like out at College Grove because for the convenience, they want us to vacuum pack fish so that they know that it's freshly frozen and they can keep it in the freezer and be able to take it out through the week. So we do that on a regular as well. We're just here to help. We want people to have good quality seafood at home, and that's not such a big chore to prep.
This is so freaking cool. I mean, this makes me, because, coming here back to Nashville from New York City, I was just so spoiled there. And, all my New York friends are like, man, do you miss New York? And I'm like, no, actually, not at all, because we're experiencing a bagel boom. And now you're telling me that we have incredible fresh seafood here. And we have great pizza as well. So suck it, New York. Well, one last thing I really want to talk about is you actually have these amazing events every other month or so. Can you tell us about your one that's coming up in November?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. We found out that, so many people love sushi. So we decided to do this maki sushi making class. And it is just so fun. We do it monthly at Smoke and Oaks Butcher. And I actually am there on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They are just so kind. They sell meats and produce. And when we befriended them, they're like, you should just come by on Saturdays and set up shop here. And we've been doing that for almost 2 years. And their customers are so kind. They are the best. Like you walk in and you just feel like you're in heaven because everything you pick up is curated by Will, their general manager, and Justin is their farmer/owner. And everything's just amazing there. So they have this little event space and we do our sushi classes there. So the next one is November 9th. You make 2 custom sushi rolls. And it's so fun because you can meet other guests that are here just wanting to learn. We'll eat together, we'll laugh, we'll talk. And we can also do private sushi classes. So if you're celebrating something and you want to do a sushi class at home, we can also come to your home. We've done corporate parties as well. So we've done one as many as 40 guests. And as little as 2 guests. So whatever you're looking for, we also do in-home catering. So some in-home omakase dinners, or if it's lunches. So we could do catering. We'll cater your office lunch as well.
Well, Jennifer, it really, truly has been an honor talking to you and learning more about the Aloha Fish Company. I am going to sign up for the sushi class because it sounds like such a great way to connect to our community and learn how to roll some sushi. And I'm also going to tell my whole family that we have to have our fresh fish orders in by by Monday. So thank you again. And everybody, you can find in our show notes a link to the website so you can put in your fish orders as well.
Thanks, Marie.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. I'll be seeing you at Aloha Fish Company. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!